Hello, welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2023 Top 37 countdown. It's place number 28, Switzerland, Remo Forrer and Watergun. Please do click on the subscribe button, click that notification bell and like, share and comment below. So with top 5 results in both 2019 and 2021, including when they won the jury vote in that latter year, Switzerland at last sort of found some success at Eurovision after a long period of very poor results. Last year they got qualification to the grand final once again, but and top 10 with the juries, but it received the dreaded nul point from the televote in the grand final. So can they get the balance right between jury and televote this year with Remo Forrer and Watergun? Well, the Swiss broadcaster has held an internal selection the last few years. They've included internal panels of members of the Swiss public, as well as an international jury, or internally international jury panel, kind of assessing submissions. And that's obviously had quite a bit of success recently. So they've kept that method this year. And it was the 21-year-old Remo who was chosen with a song that was co-written by a man called Ashley Hicklin, who has actually been the writer of quite a number of Eurovision entries and also even national final songs as well. Some more successful than others, it has to be said. Remo is a former winner of The Voice of Switzerland. Again, one of the many Eurovision artists that have had experience or have come from TV talent shows or have had some experience with them. Of course, it's not a negative. I don't mean that as a negative. It generally means that they've got a good experience of being on a live stage in front of a lot of people and been on a big TV program as well. So it's a useful experience. And Watergun is one of just about three of these mid-tempo male solo pop ballads. This feels a very competent but not particularly exciting entry, I would say. I think his vocals probably are and will be solid. I think I did see him briefly, sort of a clip of him at the Madrid pre-party and seemed to have decent vocals. I don't think there'll be a problem on the vocal side of things. I just think this probably lacks some standout moments that really sort of set it apart. But it's really perfectly listenable to. It's not unpleasant at all. I think my bigger gripe with it is because of the lyrical content, and I'm probably not the only person to say that. It's sort of talking about not wanting to be a soldier and seeing body bags and real blood and that kind of thing, which is perfectly, well, it's all very well, but coming from a country that is very wealthy and is also neutral and isn't under any kind of threat, it just feels that while obviously fighting rages in Ukraine and people from all walks of life are suddenly finding themselves thrust into the front lines, it just grates a little bit. I realise that's not Remo's fault. He's not the lyricist. He didn't write the lyrics. But yes, and it just feels a little bit odd. But I would, if I was given a choice between Greece and Switzerland, I've obviously placed this above Greece. There is another mid-tempo male pop ballad to come though. Now last year's entry for Switzerland, Marius Bear, had a slow ballad that only made the final due to jury votes, and of course this entry also I think lends itself to jury votes more than televotes. But of course there are only televotes in the semi-final, and it needs to get those televotes to get to the grand final. I personally think that this will be one of the songs that's fighting for that 9th or 10th place to get to into the grand final. It's in semi-final 1, which is it's got packed full of a lot of the favourites. At the moment, the betting suggests it will qualify, but I'm just not sure. There's no diaspora voting for Switzerland at all. They have to get through just on the strength of their song. I think he will get a bit of a boost from the fact that Sacha Jean-Baptiste is taking charge of the staging. She's been in charge of so many iconic stagings over the years. She often does more than one in a single year, but they've got a really experienced pair of hands there. She did Mary Spare's staging last year as well. However, I think I have to say I think it's 50-50 on whether or not this will make it through to the final and give Switzerland 4 qualifications on the trot. But do let me know what you think. Do you think Switzerland will qualify, or where would you put it? Do let me know as always, and join me as we carry on with my countdown. Take care.